Hello and welcome to Health in the Real World, where I broaden my scope and I talk about a little bit more than just health and fitness. I talk about the practical aspects of it. Your health does not exist in a vacuum. Hello, I'm Chris Janke. I'm a personal trainer, author, and entrepreneur. When you subscribe to this channel, you're going to get lots and lots and lots of stuff like this, very practical tips for your health and fitness. So make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, and share this video with anybody who you think will be interested. Today's episode is sponsored by My Core Balance. It's pretty amazing, actually, if you think about it, that we can get such a great workout with literally no equipment, no light weights, no bands, no pull-up bars, no nothing, and just literally your body weight on the floor. So My Core Balance, go to mycorebalance.com to join our program, enter promo code podcast, and get 10% off of the already discounted price and the already very reasonable price of our online membership. These are all the videos over here on the side, and lots and lots of good stuff there. So, all right, let's talk about you. Let's talk about simple, straightforward tactics to get you healthy. I love this. This is awesome. Today's episode is going to function a lot like a checklist. So you may be doing a lot of these things right. You may be doing a lot of healthy things right. That's great. Pat yourself on the back. I'm a huge fan of acknowledging your success. So pat yourself on the back for that. I'm just going to add 5 more that I think are a little bit, I don't want to say less known, because when I say them, you're not necessarily going to be like, oh, wow, what a great idea. I've never thought of that before. These may be things usually that you've thought of before. Maybe 1 or 2 that you haven't, but really I want you to come at this from a point of, okay, cool, that's the checklist, and choose one thing. I'm a huge fan of just keep it simple, right? Choose one of these things to focus on over the next week. That's your call to action. And in fact, after you choose this, write down in the comment section which one of these things resonates with you the most, and which one of these things might be the easiest, and which one also might be the hardest, where I can support you. I will respond to your comments. So if you're like, wow, I have no idea what to do next, write a question in the comments. I'd love to help you out. Okay, number 1, the first thing that I would really focus on is getting your circadian rhythm correct. What I mean by this is getting in touch with the sun. Sun goes up, you wake up. Sun goes down, you go down. Now this is tough, and I would imagine this got tough when the light bulb was invented in the 1800s. It's fake, right? It's fake. You keep your lights on, you keep looking at computer screens into the night. Your body thinks it's like 4 p.m. Literally, your body thinks it's like 4 p.m. It has no interest in going to sleep. Why would I go to sleep at 4 p.m.? I'm not 95 years old, you know? So make sure you turn these off. So I again, like with all these, I think I would not say like do this now every day forever, but this could be a good detox, right? Turn off your electronics and literally live like an Amish person. The sun goes down, and you'll notice, like, you ever go camping and you're like out, you're just sitting in your lounge chair camping right by the tents, right? And everyone's getting tired at like 8:30, right? 9 o'clock. And you have to really sort of go above and beyond. You have to get the campfire going. You have to start talking and singing and dancing. Like, that's the only way you can stay awake, right? Otherwise, you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted. What time is it? Oh my God, it's 9:02, right? And that just happens automatically by not having the electronics out. So that's one. And what'll happen with this too, this is great. This is like probably the greatest feeling ever. Excuse me. The greatest feeling ever is when you wake up without an alarm clock, naturally with the sun, feeling like you got enough sleep. Soak that in for a minute. That's, as somebody who loves his sleep and doesn't get a whole lot of it, or at least enough, imagine that. Imagine your windows are all open because you don't care if the sun wakes you up. You actually, you relish in it. You wake up and, the sun is coming through the windows at 6:30 in the morning, and you're like, and just this feeling of restfulness coming over you. How amazing is that feeling, right? So that's number 1. Number 2, huge salad for lunch. Okay, I'm not a big fan of saying I'm going to cut this out, I'm going to stop eating that, I'm going to stay away from this. That will happen automatically and organically as you start to eat better. So when I was in my late 20s, I was eating an enormous amount of salad. It had like parsley and kale and all these other greens. It had sprouts. It had, bell peppers, tomatoes, all this delicious stuff. And I was eating this every day, a football helmet size of salad. It was amazing. It was great. I loved it. And I felt fantastic. I felt absolutely fantastic. It was the best. Okay, so during that time, it was important that I actually did not say that I'm never going to eat this again, I'm never going to eat that again. All I did was add the salad. Okay, so that's what I recommend doing. Just start. Like, don't even worry about how it looks or sounds or tastes or anything like that. Don't try to replicate what I did, although that's a good start. You can add in protein, add in like sardines or chicken or beef, steak, whatever, like do whatever, right? Just a huge salad. It would literally take me an hour to eat these salads. And after a while, I remember I was getting like just really bored, and I just like threw it in the blender and blended it and chugged it. Whatever, do what you got to do. That's probably what I would have to do if I start adopting this now, today. So that's number 2. So turn off electronics. Huge salad for lunch. Number 3 is, this might be one that surprises you as being a top 5, but I think it's absolutely vital, is to walk daily barefoot in the grass. Okay, this is big. Electronics, going back to electronics, I'm not an expert in this, but the frequencies, the EMFs and everything really mess with us. Like, imagine how you feel. I want to take it away from the out there and make it more about you. So how do you feel after spending a day staring at one of these computer screens, right? How do you feel after texting, right? So imagine this. Imagine like if I went back to the 80s or the 90s and I was sitting 1 foot away from the TV and I'm watching my cartoons. When I'm a kid, I'm watching my cartoons. I'm 1 foot away from the TV. What would my parents say? Like, what are you doing? Get back. Get away from that TV. Now we're doing it all day long. We're on our phones, and we're like 6, 8, 12 inches away from our phones all day. Our eyes are crossing, getting headaches, eye strain, neck issues looking down, all this stuff. So getting away from even just the electronics, getting to nature, barefoot in the grass, is so powerful for a lot of reasons. One is just the energy from the earth, the barefoot, being barefoot, and then also just the fact that it's a little bit uneven, right? Think about if you spend all day in your shoes and your feet are not challenged to adapt to different levels of terrain as you're walking, and they're just like, boom, they're just like firmly planted inside the cotton socks, inside the rubber shoes, and nothing really changes. Then your ankles, your calves, your quads, hamstrings, glutes, all your leg muscles all the way up have no reason to get any stronger, to adapt to anything like that, right? So what happens? You get weaker. So adding that little systematic challenge is very beneficial. And then if you can go to a park where you have a very expansive and open grass, you can kind of push the pace a little bit, get a little bit of cardio going in that to get the heart and the lungs going as well. Listen to a podcast, listen to an audiobook while you're doing that so you can optimize time, because I know that's one excuse I get from a lot of people is, I just don't have time for that. I have to do all these other things. Well, pick one of those things that you have to do anyway and do it while you're doing the walking. It's the best way to start. It's the best way to start. You don't have to use any extra time, right? Instead of sitting on your butt, you're moving. I should be doing this podcast while I'm moving. Next, number 4, laugh. I read a story. I should be better at citing stories, but this was years ago. I read a story about a man who was diagnosed with cancer. I believe it was like a big disease. I believe it was cancer. And by the way, I'm not saying that this is going to cure anything. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying how important laughter is. Anyway, he told the doctors and the nurses, he said, just bring me videos of all like the funniest things you can think of, the funny movies, the funny stand-up, all this stuff. And he just watched funny movies all day, and he just laughed all day. I mean, if nothing else, again, going back to like, I'm not saying this is like a cure for cancer or anything like that. Please do not misinterpret what I'm saying. But who doesn't want to go through life laughing like just having fun. Like, let's enjoy ourselves, right? I think that's actually one, I'm going to go politics. Sorry. I think that's one negative about this political climate is the political correctness. Nobody can laugh at anything anymore. Like, what the heck? Laugh. Like, when I was younger, like these comedians, everything's on the table. Nothing's off limits. And it's not laughing at you like, haha, you're bad or anything like that. It's seeing that we're all the same. We're all people. And let's laugh at ourselves, right? We can laugh at each other because the silly thing you do, I do it too, right? And we can just laugh at it, right? So let's kind of take that off our shoulders, that whole political correctness. You don't have to say the right thing and all that. Let's just laugh at ourselves and realize how silly we are sometimes. Like, we're goofy. Like, we make funny noises. Funny noises come out of all parts of our bodies. We do weird stuff. Like when we wake up in the morning, we have crusties in our eyes, and like it's just like literally, how many things are just hilarious that throughout your whole day? Anyway, I could go on that all day. I probably should. All right, number 5. We're gonna wrap up this video soon. This is huge, and I know you've heard of this, and maybe 10% of you're like, oh yeah, I already do that every day, and 90% of you are like, oh god, that's so crazy. I would never do that. But let me just tell you. When I started doing this, my energy level changed. It went through the roof, absolutely through the roof. And that's to take a cold shower every single day. Okay, there's a couple different ways to get into this. Now, one is obviously you can start at a warm and then gradually start to drop the temperature. That's an easy way to do it, to get to that point. I just do it right after I work out. My body is really hot, and just like a cold shower feels great. It's just very soothing. And then start it in the summer. That's another strategy that I would do. If it's already winter, you don't want to be cold. You're already cold all day long, but it's 90 degrees out. Cold shower feels great. That's a great time of year to start. There's a lot of research on this. I'm not going to go into detail on why cold showers are good. But just even just this, if they did nothing else other than to kind of rev up your energy and make you kind of, they get you breathing faster. They get you like you feel good. It feels great. So those are the 5. So again, keep all electronics off. Not all the time necessarily for the rest of your life, but do maybe a 3-day detox. As soon as the sun goes down, you're starting to get ready, right? Getting ready to go down. Eat a huge salad for lunch. That's awesome. That's just going to get your veggies up. I'm a huge fan of the high veggie diet. This is going to be a future book that I do. The high veggie diet is not about depriving yourself of anything. So if you do your huge salad every day and you still eat a pizza for dinner, that's still a victory on the high veggie diet. We're all about success in the high veggie diet. All right, so number 3 is walk daily barefoot in the grass. Number 4 is to laugh every day. There's even laughing yoga. Like at first you have to force yourself, but once you do it, and your physiology will start to change. Like you'll actually start to feel better, even by fake laughing for 5 minutes. Try it right now. Fake laugh for 5 minutes. It's awesome. And number 5, cold shower. So those are your 5. Go do those. Mention in the comments again which ones you tried, which ones you're struggling with, which ones are a little bit easier. And I will see you again next time. Until then, let's be fit, let's be healthy, let's be happy.